Let's get one thing right. Maryland is definitely not the biggest state. However, when it comes to aquatics, and especially with aquatic food and sports, oh man, do we have a lot to show for. Just because Maryland is small doesn't mean we lack swimming talent. I mean, just look at some of these resumes. We've got some of the best high school swimmers in the country, and they're all super amazing people. Just look at Teddy. He's the world's best music beat maker. Or Langston, who's won the 50 free at MIAA 3 times in a row now. Even Jackson, who's a natural in literally everything he does. How could I forget Alex? He's just supreme in every way. Now, what do you think would happen if we took all of those guys and had them compete against each other in the pool? You would get some insanely fast racing. Oh, and when I say fast racing, I mean fast racing.
Go!
People shattering personal bests.
Go!
MIAA records biting the dust at every turn. People going times that were so much faster than they thought possible.
21.76, Peter. Let's go!
But that's not all. We've got some new things to make this the best vlog yet. I've got access to the full event live stream, so that you can see everything that my camera could not. I also got some interviews with the swimmers themselves, filming their live reactions as they retrospectively watched their own races.
It's 4 strokes and sometimes a little close, so I thought I'd play it safe here.
I did pretty well off the blocks. I was 8 kickouts and 8 strokes to the wall.
And most importantly, I got some of my best swimming friends to chime in with their expertise.
Such as Logan Betke, who's an All-American in the 200 fly. Talk about pain. Don't forget about Caitlin Hurley, the star All-American Dairy Queen loving freshman at Purdue, who's already won plenty of college races this year. And lastly, we've got one of the best 16-year-olds in the country today, in Daniel Brennan. I hope you enjoy this vlog, because it's the best one yet. Since the beginning of the human race, we have always been yearning to be the best.
Because, if you think about it, our very survival as a species has depended on our ability to make everything better.
Just look at the Greeks, who 3,000 years ago started the Olympic Games to see who was the best athlete in several different sports. And then let's go to Rome, where around 2,000 years ago, masterful chariot races were held in large stadiums to see who was the fastest man.
You know, there's something really, and I mean really attractive about being the best or fastest at something.
And let me tell you, swimming is no exception.
He wins the gold again. 16 years later, he wins the gold again.
The fastest person in the water is a title that nearly every swimmer at some point dreams of holding. But the only race in which this title can be awarded
is the 50 freestyle. At first glance, the 50 free seems simple enough. Just dive into the pool, swim 25 yards to one side of the pool as fast as you can, turn, and then swim the 25 yards back to the start as quickly as you possibly can. Or, if you are in a long course pool, you just, dive in, swim 50 meters as fast as you can to the other side of the pool, and that's it. You're done. How hard could it be? Simple, right? Wrong. There is far more to the 50 free than meets the eye, as All-American and 50 freestyle IAAM conference champion Logan Betke knows all too well.
Logan Betke, 23.57, your winner.
I just finished swimming the 50 free. Other people are in the water now. Yeah, it's warm. The thing that makes this race very challenging is the fact that you kind of have to get it perfect to have a good swim. There's not a lot of yardage, so that means that there's a lot of area for mess ups.
Exactly. If you look at the 50 free in the Olympics, you'll see that most of those races are decided by hundredths of a second. Ask any 50 free specialist the same thing and they'll give you the same reason as to why this race is so hard.
Okay, well, because every part of it has to be perfect.
Yes,
and if
that's
you
what I
screw it
said.
up, you're absolutely done. There's no reason to keep swimming.
So, if you have a bad start, and come up a few feet behind someone else who has the same swim speed as you, you're pretty much done. Now that you understand why the 50 free is actually so difficult, let's meet some of the best 50 freestylers in the MIAA.
McDonough initially kept their hot streak going, as McDonough freshman Bo Feng Shu won the 50 free JV final. The varsity consolation final would turn out to be an exciting battle between Gilman's Riley Walters, McDonough's Tanush Parhi, and Spalding's Graham Tower, the former two of which are great friends of mine.
Oh, you gotta remember, it's hard to know who the frick is in 5. It's killing everything.
Spalding's Graham Tower sped to a major lifetime best, winning Spalding's only race of the meet. However, with the B final and the JV final out of the way, it was time for the big party. Let's meet some of our finalists. First up, we have the reliable Gilman captain, who's always willing to give it his all in the pool. His name is Tim Brooks. Next up, we have one of the best sprinters in the state, who can crack out 21 low splits in the 50 butterfly like it's nothing. His name is Langston Duncan. Third, we've got Loyola Blakefield's best sprinter, who, despite being a freshman at the last championships, was already swimming 21s and 47s in the 50 and 100 free. His name is Alex Dillon. And lastly, we've got a kid that doesn't even do competitive swimming. He's just an all-around athletic freak. His name is Jackson Heather. The pressure of being in a swimming final is immense, and if it's not handled correctly, it can crush you. Most people handle this pressure in different ways. Some people, like Tim here, listen to music, while others, such as Connor Cashman here, stretch and slap themselves to pump their body up. Others take a totally different route, such as Alex Dillon.
I find myself to be one of the people who actually do not listen to music. I just don't like it. I think it takes my attention away from the race where I should be focusing on the race.
Gilman's Jackson Heather, who doesn't even do club swimming, took a more psychologically sound approach to the race.
I was kind of nervous about it. I kind of was prepping myself, telling me this doesn't really matter that much. It's just any other meet that you were swimming against, Loyola, McDonough, MSJ, whatever. I was just trying to keep on telling myself that because I didn't want to stress myself out too much about it.
The anticipation in the arena reached an all-time high, as everybody yearned to know who would be crowned the fastest man in the MIAA.
Your record in the MIAA, 1970.
First, let me show you who was where, as it's easy to lose track of everybody in this absolute whitewater chaos that is the 50 freestyle. Loyola's Alex Dillon is swimming in lane 7, near the bottom. Gilman's Timothy Brooks in lane 6, and Jackson Heather in lane 5 are right above him. The defending champion, Langston Duncan, is sitting above them in lane 4. And lastly, you can also see yours truly filming everything on deck. Okay, enough of me yapping, let's watch this thing.
74 by Giles Smith from McDonough. It was accomplished in 2009.
Okay, so I'm gonna go back on what I just said about me yapping, and I'm actually gonna show you the footage that I filmed of the race from the pool deck, because there's some analysis stuff that I'm gonna want to do from the live stream footage later, so let's go to that real quick.
Let's go! Go! Jackson never starts over. He catches up. Jackson! 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 Come on, come on, come on! Ah! Oh, 21-5.
McDonough's Langston Duncan ended up defending his title with a sizzling time of 21.34 seconds. But let's be honest, you can't see a thing from this poolside angle. Let's go back to the live stream to show you what the heck just happened. The first thing that you'll notice is that Langston Duncan, in lane 4, comes up with a significant lead over everyone else. This is because his underwaters, which is the dolphin kick thing that you do immediately after diving in to conserve momentum, is just better than everybody else's. Although it's not a huge lead, any type of lead is very important in a short race like the 50 free. This is something that Langston had extensively prepared for in practice. In fact, he had every last second of this race planned out ahead of time.
I knew how I wanted to execute it. In the morning I had taken one breath, and I knew I wanted to be no breaths tonight, and kind of lock in my kickouts. So here we go. The start. Off the start, I thought I was pretty well. I did pretty well off the blocks. I was 8 kickouts and 8 strokes to the wall.
Did you just hear that? Yep, most top and experienced swimmers go into the race knowing exactly how they're going to execute it. And this includes knowing the exact number of strokes that they plan on taking, which is known as stroke count. Michael Phelps himself once actually used stroke count to win an Olympic gold medal, when, in 2008, his goggles filled up with water and made him blind during the 200 butterfly final. But he had raced this race so many times that he knew the exact number of strokes that he was supposed to take.
Which is better than I was earlier in the season. So I was closer to 15, which I thought really helped. And off the turn, I was 4 kicks, and then on the second 25, 14 strokes. And as you can see in the video, I had my head down the whole time, no breath.
And that right there, folks, is the secret to his success. As you can tell from his interview, Langston had mastered every last second of his race. He had extensively practiced and prepared for every single last detail. And when it was time to race, he knew exactly what to do. He simply had a better plan than everyone else, despite being on pretty much the same, if not a slightly better level physically. Now, let's take a look at what happened with the other contenders. Unlike the McDonough and Gilman swimmers, who had a chance to rest their muscles, also known as taper, before the meet, Alex Dillon from Loyola swims on the club team MIAA, which was in the middle of preparing for a lot of other meets at the time. As a result, he had to overcome several obstacles that the other guys did not have to face.
MIAA swimming, especially for me, someone on MIAA, is just very tough for the situation we're in because we just have so many meets. You know, we have National Catholics, then we have our Christmas meet, and then we just have MIAs, which we don't rest for, taper for. So it's just like a meet after a meet after a meet. So we're just exhausted.
The fatigue from the difficult MIAA practices drained Alex of energy. Coming into prelims, he felt pretty tired, so he attempted to change his stroke a bit in an attempt to make him faster in finals.
And I just did not feel good in prelims at all. You know, my stroke wasn't there, my strength wasn't there, so I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna change up my stroke. I have nothing to lose. And so I implemented a straight arm with my breathing arm. So I'll be taking a stroke in my left, and my right arm I'll swing into a straight arm.
Despite his best attempts, however, the fatigue from MIAA was just way too much to overcome. In the end, Alex finished in a tie for 4th with Tim Brooks in a time of 21.76. Even though the race may not have gone to plan for him, Alex went 0.6 of a second faster at the Maryland State Championships later that month, going a monster personal best of 21.15 seconds. Unlike the other competitors, Gilman's Jackson Heather was coming into the meet fully tapered. Jackson did not have to deal with the fatigue that other swimmers were facing because, well, he wasn't even a club swimmer, and the Gilman non-club swimming team had tapered for this meet.
So eventually we finally got to my heat. We got to the A final, and I was in lane 4, and I was just like, what am I doing here? It felt really off. I don't know. I just felt weird standing up there with a bunch of club swimmers.
Although he may have felt slightly out of place, not being a club swimmer actually worked to Jackson's advantage. as he was far less prone to overthinking and stressing about what was about to happen than the other club swimmers were.
The race started and I just did what I call kamikaze stroke, where I just like swing my arms as fast as I can and just try to get to the other end just as fast as possible.
Although Jackson's underwaters aren't good, he had more raw speed than everyone else did. Because of his volleyball background, Jackson's already explosively trained muscles helped propel him through the water with extreme efficiency.
My flip turn was fine. I didn't get stuck underwater too long. My underwaters are really bad. You can ask a lot of the people that I swim with at Gilman. My underwaters are pretty bad. So I was just kind of like swinging my arms as fast as I can. That was my entire mentality during the race. Just like, don't think about anything. Just swim as fast as you can to the other end and just don't even worry about it.
Despite having subpar underwaters and less experience than his competitors, the added rest from the Gilman taper and his extremely athletic and powerful physical background helped Jackson to secure second place.
Let's go, Jackson! Let's go!
In the end, McDonough's Langston Duncan defended his title in a time of 21.34. Gilman's Jackson Heather had the race of his life and swam a 21.58. Which was a massive personal best considering he had never broken 22 until that morning. MSJ senior Antonio Gurry was third, while Loyola's Alex Dillon and Gilman's Tim Brooks tied for fourth. Next, in the men's 100 fly, it wasn't a question of who would win, but how much McDonough's Caden Bowers would win by. Tune in soon to find out the answer. Thank you guys for watching, and as a bonus, here's a message from some of the best swimmers in the state. Peace.
Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching.
Hey guys, thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching.
Yo, what's up? Thanks for watching, everyone.
Thanks for watching.